What's going on, everyone? So, a lot of talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo, and will the San Antonio Spurs actually trade for Giannis? It also seems, just based on the videos that I've talked about with this, a lot of Spurs fans seem kind of split. A lot of people want Giannis, but at the right price, right? They don't want to give up like Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, which I've talked about. If you're going to go get Giannis, you're in win now mode, right? Like, I have no issues with you kind of keeping, like, if you want to keep Dylan Harper, keep Stephon Castle, and just stay the course, right? Trust the process, so to speak, then do it. I'm not saying that they have to go get Giannis. I even think that there's an argument to be made that it doesn't really make sense to get Giannis, right? But if the Spurs are going to make that decision, right, you're in win now mode. You're not in hey, let's let Stephon Castle grow and develop the next 2-3 years. Let's let Dylan Harper grow and develop the next 2-3 years. No, by that point, Giannis might be on his way out. Who knows, right? So you're the Spurs. You're going to have to make that decision. You have to make a call. Well, according to reports that have came out, the San Antonio Spurs have made it known that they have actually spoken to the Milwaukee Bucks about a potential Giannis trade. So again, talked about, there were reports that the San Antonio Spurs had or were aggressively looking and pursuing Giannis Antetokounmpo, and then reports have came out that the San Antonio Spurs have actually touched base about what would it take to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks are still trying to figure out kind of what they want to do, the path they want to go down. Giannis and his agent and stuff are supposed to meet with the Milwaukee Bucks and kind of have that conversation. I don't know if it's going to happen this offseason or this trade deadline, but I think it's coming. I think Giannis is on his way out. There were reports that came out that said he basically already asked and requested a trade, right? And then on top of that, you add in that, again, Milwaukee's just not good. I don't see a path, and I've talked about this for years. I don't see a path where the Milwaukee Bucks end up figuring out how to build a contender around Giannis. They are way too deep in that hole. They have no assets. The last kind of thing that they could do was waive and stretch Damian Lillard, which was foolish because, again, Miles Turner was not going to be the thing that put you over the top. Sure, you got, a Brook Lopez replacement, but again, that's not the thing that's like, oh, now that's it. Like, they were just a Miles Turner away. You knew that this was inevitable. So I think the Spurs, if they end up making the play for Giannis, either the trade deadline or in the offseason. Personally, I think for all sides, it makes the most sense to do it in the offseason, right? Because I think, one, Giannis will have more power and control, right? So let's say he really does want to go to the Spurs. He can say, like, I only want to go to the Spurs. I don't want to go anywhere else. I only want to go to the Spurs. And teams will be a lot more reluctant to make a move regardless, right? Because you might get some teams right now at the trade deadline going like, we get a year and a half of Giannis. That gives us basically 2 chances to win a championship with Giannis. Like, let's make the trade, right? And kind of do the Kawhi Leonard to the Toronto Raptors situation. But in the offseason, teams might kind of be like, we got one shot at this. Yes, there are teams that might be willing to pony up stuff, but they're probably not going to sell the farm in order to do that. So they're not going to be able to bid the San Antonio Spurs if San Antonio really wants a Giannis trade. And then also from Giannis' standpoint, it kind of allows him to take his time, survey the landscape, kind of see where things are at. You got a lot of teams with cap space, right? There's teams like the Knicks and the Lakers and all these teams that are linked to Miami that are linked to Giannis, right? Like, if I'm Giannis, I can see, okay, if the Knicks, like, he supposedly wants to go to the Knicks, but the Knicks aren't really interested in trading for him right now. If the Knicks end up losing in, say, the second round, they might want Giannis now. So then Giannis now might be able to make his way to the Knicks. Or the Lakers. Lakers could potentially have a bunch of cap space, and they could sign and trade Austin Reeves and do all this stuff, right? Like, so, Giannis can now take a step back and go, okay, like, let's see what the Lakers situation is, right? Miami. Kind of take a step back and go, okay, Miami, let's see, like, how is Bam looking? How are, like, these, like, do I really feel like, is that where I want to go? Just allows him to kind of look at the full picture, look at the full scope, rather than kind of making a hasty decision, right? Same thing with the Spurs, right? How do the Spurs go? Like, what guys do I kind of want the Spurs to keep? What guys am I okay with them departing? And then from the Spurs side of things, it gives you the full season to kind of evaluate things, right? Spurs have looked really good. How does this look with De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, and Victor Wembanyama? Right? De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama's two-man game has not been great. What if that continues? Maybe you are looking to trade De'Aaron Fox. Maybe it's like, you know what? Let's get off of De'Aaron Fox, right? Or what if that does open up really well and it's like, man, imagine this with Giannis too. Like, we got to make that move. Or, what if, Dylan Harper just really kind of it's like, man, this guy's clearly going to be a super duper star, maybe as soon as next season, right? And it's like, okay, we can actually digest trading Stephon Castle or whatever, right? Like, there's a lot of things that could happen. Jeremy Sohan, right? Right now he's dirt cheap, but in the offseason you could sign and trade him, right? And give him a bigger salary, even if it's, $10 million. That's better than what you got right now, right? So a lot of things, even from the Spurs side of things, to really kind of properly evaluate this team, really get a full picture of this team, kind of see, okay, what guys can we do without? What guys can we digest losing? So on and so forth. What guys are really fitting already? And what would this look like with a Giannis Antetokounmpo slotted in? And then you can kind of make a better educated decision rather than like, hey, let's just go trade for Giannis and bring him in. Again, if they trade for Giannis, I am all for it. I'm not against them. I mean, look, you're adding Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis and Victor Wembanyama could be terrifying. Like, you'd have the best front court in all of basketball, right? Obviously, look, paper and actual, production are two very different things. We've seen a lot of things like on paper, this looks incredible, but in reality, it doesn't really work out. Also, Giannis Antetokounmpo, like, what's the pecking order, right? Like with De'Aaron Fox, Victor Wembanyama is better than De'Aaron Fox. Victor Wembanyama is one of the best players in all of basketball. You know who's one of the guys that right now is better than Victor Wembanyama? Giannis Antetokounmpo. So is Giannis your first option? Is Giannis okay kind of being your second option, right? Like, is Giannis willing to play the role that is asked for him with the Spurs, right? Like, there's, can Giannis even play with another star? The closest thing we got was Damian Lillard. I wouldn't really call it, like, at that time, he wasn't like prime Damian Lillard, right? He was kind of on his way out, Damian Lillard. But again, like, can he even play with another star? Right? There's a lot of things that the Spurs are going to have to factor in here, right? Like, to me, again, if they do it, like, I'm all for it. If they don't, again, I'm okay with it. Like, it's one of those things where I don't think there's a wrong answer here. It just, both are risky, right? Because you never know. Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, and Victor Wembanyama could end up being the best player in all of basketball. Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper both could turn out to be superstars, right? This team could be incredible every year and still never win a championship. Think how good Denver is every year, and they've won one championship, right? Like, it's hard to win a championship in this league, especially with Adam Silver and stuff like that, trying to keep disparity in the league, right? So again, same thing with Giannis. Like, you can go trade for Giannis, and there's no guarantee you win a championship. But at least Giannis is proven. No one on the Spurs is proven. Giannis is proven. Giannis has won a championship with less talent than what the Spurs would have with him on it. So all those things are things you got to keep in mind. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.